The case of Bowen Turner have all the ingredients associated with a classic miscarriage of justice, horrific acts, a privileged defense, a powerful attorney, and a broken system seemingly bent on accommodating the victimizer at the expense of the victims and the expense of public safety. Let's get into this story.
That response, I need you to tell me that you're guilty of committing assault and battery in the first degree. No question about that. All right. See, 6 years. However, I'm going to suspend that. I'm going to place you on probation for 5 years. Listen closely. Sex offender conviction for probation shall apply for all 5 years. So that's. They're some of the toughest, but they also, I think they also provide some rehabilitation. I know you've probably done some, I hope you have, but it will reinforce what you have already experienced. No contact with the victim, because I'm going to sign that order as well. It not only would violate probation, but it would violate the order which provides for a penalty in and of itself. I believe that's the order you're talking about.
Yes, sir. I took the 3 permanent restraining orders.
Okay. So you understand. I'm going to allow probation if he has completed 5 years without any violation. They've done all of the counseling necessary. Then you will not have to register as a sex offender.
A South Carolina team accused of sexually assaulting a pastor's daughter have avoided a possible prison sentence by pleading guilty to a lesser charge, leaving the victim's family outraged at what they describe as a sweetheart deal. Bowen Turner, who's 19 years old, had been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct for dragging Chloe Bess behind a truck at a party in 2019. Pulling off her clothes and sexually assaulting her. But on Friday, Turner, whose father is an investigator for the state solicitor, pleaded guilty to first-degree assault and battery in Orangeburg County on June the 2nd, 2019. Judge Markley sentenced him under the Youthful Offenders Act to a jail term that was suspended to 5 years probation, and he can also avoid registering as a sex offender if he stays out of trouble. Bess' father, the Reverend Daniel Bess, railed against the sentence in court. In reality, justice will not be served here today, and this is but a formalized stage of a pre-arranged dance that was choreographed in secret, Reverend Bess said in court. We have experienced a catalytic failure of this system and its impacts on family daily. At the time of the attack on Bess, Turner was out on bond on charges connected to a separate sex attack on another woman named Dallas Stoller, who was 18 at the time, who accused him of assaulting her on October 7, 2018. But that charge was dropped when she died suddenly in November 2021. The State Law Enforcement Division also investigated a rape allegation by a third woman, but the agency didn't bring any charges. Prosecutor Dennis Miller said that the incident involving Bess occurred at about 3 a.m. at a house where she, Turner, and other teens was at a party. Bess told investigators that when she walked outside to call a friend, Turner pushed her beside a truck, pulled her pants and underwear off, and forced himself sexually onto her. In the dismissed case, the late Stoller father, Carl Stoller, told the court Friday that she had attended a party in Bloomberg County. She was brought home from the party heavily intoxicated and would ultimately be found to be sexually assaulted later that night after she went to the hospital, he said. Dallas made the difficult decision to move forward with the case, all the while knowing because of her alleged attacker she would be a target of personal attacks and insults in the community, Carl said. Turner's father, Walt Turner, is an investigator for South Carolina First Circuit Solicitor David Pascoe, so the case was given to the Second Circuit Solicitor Bill Weeks. Today events are nothing more than a public show with the intent for the defendant to not spend one moment in jail, seemingly fully supported by the Second Circuit Solicitor's Office, the one agency who was tasked to be the voice of the victims and to do the very best they could to find justice for them, Carl said. I could fully accept whatever outcome was decided if I felt and fully believe all families was well represented by the solicitor's office. They was truly did their best job they could, he said. This indeed a very sad day for victims of our state, Carl added. Adding to the family's pain, it was also reported that Turner had committed more than 50 alleged violations of his house arrest conditions based on the tracking device he was wearing. Bess said that his daughter and other accusers not only feel victimized by the defendant, but also by the very system of justice that was meant to protect our daughter and others. Turner visited golf courses 19 times, ate at restaurants, shopped at a sporting goods store, and even went out of state, citing the court documents. Sarah Ford of the Victim Assistance Network said that she planned to appeal Turner's sentence and filed motions asking the court to approve taking him into custody. There have been issue after issue with this case, Ford said. The defendant have disregarded the court orders after court orders, and these victims have been told to sit and endure it. Can someone please tell me why these white men are allowing these white boys, these white men, to go free after wreaking havoc on society instead of doing their damn jobs? All these animals are going to do is create more victims and terrorize them. These judges are purposely endangering society, and people need to stop reelecting them. These rich white males constantly get away with assault and even murder. It's honestly scary how little power women have against them, and they pretty much being told to shut up and deal with it. Now, for the people that ask why women don't come forward, this is one of the reasons. You go through a whole trial for show and pony to have your R word let right back in the community and terrorize you and others. Meanwhile, the victims have spent probably thousands on their own attorneys, therapy, and have to rehash their trauma to the world to get no justice and probably no therapy provided by the courts for them. You report your assault and nothing comes out of it except more trauma and lawyer fees and debt, etc., etc. This is why women don't want to speak up. One girl even took her own life because of this trauma. Thanks to the judge, that little animal will probably eventually escalate to a murder eventually, and watch his victims get younger and younger too. It's scary to live in this world as a woman. Men get away with so much and get so much sympathy for being the abuser or the R word. And another thing, this was a deal he made with the prosecutor. The prosecutor's office need to be called out too, especially because it's obvious this happened because of his father's law enforcement connections. We also need to start holding these prosecutors accountable because they always get slide under the radar, and these are the ones that's making these offers and these deals. He's going to sexually assault another female again. I would bet money on that. And they wonder why families take things into their own hands. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please do not forget to drop down in the comments and tell me your thoughts on this story. I'll love to hear from you. Make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss an upload. I'm Lady T. I will catch you the next time. Be blessed. Bye.